Jeez, what an end to that game there. Number 11, Roel Fink, sealing it at the end there as Monas takes second scalp here from the proceedings from today. Excellent stuff by them. So we've had 3 clashes thus far. The under 14As at 23-22 in favor of Noordheuwel. That's how the day started. And then it went on to the thirds. The thirds from Monas with a comfortable 25-27 win. And then we've just seen an absolute nail-biter. Down to the wire stuff here. 8-6 in favor of Monas. About to get started with the curtain raiser to the first team. It is, of course, the Premier Interschools. Brought to you proudly by Super Quick and associate sponsor there, Outsurance. Looking at those team sheets very quickly, I was having a chat to the captain there from Monument, big JD Power. Look out for him. He'll be leading things at the back there. We got Barnard at number 8 as well. Look at that front row. We got Bolt, Ace, and Duplessis as well. We've seen some absolute monsters from the side here. Bit of a boot on him as well, does the vice captain have. Nathan Venter. Looking from the side of Noordheuwel, their captain, Arne Roux. He's in the number 2 jersey there. Another big front row. Look at Comerford there as well. Look, number 9-10 combination for Shane Fourie. That'll be a tongue twister going through this game here. And the vice captain will be controlling things from the back in terms of Paulson. It's been end-to-end stuff here, folks. Credit to both schools that have really come out in support of their sides. Obviously playing under stricter COVID conditions, but it really has been an atmosphere, absolute euphoria. My name is Lucky Litzab. I'm not alone in commentary. I'm with the legend himself, former loosehead Springbok prop, Lawrence Sipaka. Lawrence, jeez.
Lucky, we've been treated to some real treat in terms of entertainment. Rugby here, and these boys is just gonna get better and better as we go up, as the sun also end up is empty in terms of temperature. Things are just gonna get hotter and hotter, and hopefully the handling in this game is much better than the previous game, but there's nothing short of excitement and drama. So this game is gonna just get nicer and nicer as these boys go. Looking forward to see how these ones take each other on. I mean, we've really been treated to some scintillators today.
Certainly so. The man in the middle, Mr. Maurits Olivier, he'll be taking charge of this game here. We see the players just about getting ready to go. Do not think it's your camera screens, guys. It's not Helpmaker playing. That's the second team there. They play in a white and a brown strip. A little bit more familiar to the school colors, so they play in a white and a brown strip, and then Noordheuwel in their familiar strip there of the baby blue and navy blue shorts. They'll be led, like I said, by the hooker there, Arne Roux, and the opposing captain, number 8, JD Powell. The wind has picked up in the last hour or so, where those high kicks that we've seen a little bit swirling in the air. We've had a couple of testers in the other teams there. Be interesting to see which route Zandre Fourie goes.
Yeah, now looking at this wind as well, I think it's blowing a bit from south to north. So if anything to go by, you probably might just hang it in the middle. Will end up slightly to the left side of the middle of the field where the forwards are actually heading.
Here we go, folks. It's the second team game here in Kreersdorp. And then a big hit to begin things there. Keegan Grobler says, just in case you're wondering, this is who I am. And welcome to the second team game. Quick ball immediately we see here from Monas. Good interplay between the forwards there. Happy to run it over the 22-meter line very early on. That ball's taking a minute to get out of there. Yeah, says the referee. Slowing that ball down. They must clear the space there. And first penalty goes in favor of the home side. Root won the option for them very early on, Lawrence.
Yeah, and I think they were trying to find an angle, but the angle they were looking for was the fly was standing on the wrong side. So they had to try again, and by that one, the ruck was slowed down. But the opposition actually got a ball that was not kicked out. So this drama continues.
Yeah, it certainly does. Let's see if Noordheuwel are able to clean that ball. It looks like it may have well been stolen by Monument. Work to do now for the halfback Bernard. Big hit from Captain Arne Roux. Ball still in possession of Monument. A little bit messy, but still in possession. That ball is out there. Forwards happy to carry it on. The Pods are standing by to the right-hand side. Now giving it a little bit of air. Let's see now what these centers can do here. Straightens number 12, but clutters into his opposite number. Storm still available. Here we are. Numbers to this outside here. The fullback is going. He's going to show a clean pair of heels. No, he doesn't. Instead, he gives it to his opposite number, the vice captain, Calvin Poulsen. Should have hung on to that ball there for just a second more. Support was arriving in numbers here, and an opportunity to clear their lines just in front of the commentary box here. And big potential for Monument, unfortunately just losing the ball just at the end there.
Yeah, and I suppose it was one of those situations when you got the ball, a bit of a swerve, and actually got into the gap. Surprisingly enough, ran over his opposition number, and then obviously feeling like he's taken so much advantage over the advantage line, so he needed to actually give someone a better position. Unfortunately, giving it to the trailing defender, who said thank you very much, we'll get out of the jail card.
Ace with a short line out meets his jumper in Van der Merwe. Now that ball is swung. That was a good distribution there. Should work for DHL in his off time. Comes again for the halfback. Full of running, this team here. There was a good rush defense by Noordheuwel. Unfortunately, they were offside. Got to be careful of that. Tap and go here. This is a good intent here. Administers a sit-down tactic to the flanker from Noordheuwel. Geez, they're keen to play, these boys, aren't they? Yeah, Monument. They're really getting stuck into their faces. They're very, very early on. Intent is clear.
No, obviously, I don't know if he was intending to get that extra 10 that they were not going back to, or he was just in a mood of running and didn't want to wait for any decision making. He'll take it up on himself, and obviously come heads prevail, and they're going for the line out, which brings them closer to the try line of Noordheuwel. An opportunity for the forwards to also get into the game, because I don't think they really appreciate this running around quite a bit, because it is a bit tiring and taxing, because they know the heavy loaders. You can't maneuver heavy loaders as quickly as you actually would want to. And they've got some good jumpers in their line out, but few options available to the Arsenal, unfortunately lost.
Ace loses that ball there, going wayward. So momentary reprieve for Noordheuwel. First scrum of this encounter here.
Well, we had one first phase that was badly planned in terms of execution. I mean, the option taking, putting the hook under pressure. You can't jump where there's already opposition. I thought they'll take it right in the middle because they closed in front, and they decided to take right behind the opposition, would put the hook under pressure, and the hooker ended up doing a sort of a push, and which couldn't be handled by his teammates there, the lock jumpers, Ulrich van der Merwe. So now the scrummaging, obviously they can't put pressure because they're against a formidable scrummaging team. This Noordheuwel has proven today that, listen, when it comes to the mixing up of the V8, they know exactly how to operate in there. Just the question is now, how do they get themselves into the ultimate game where it's completely running involved. So that was a 1-1-0 for them when it comes to that department. Solidly put, got out of the jail card. Look at that exit. It's a whole 40-meter exit from your try line. That is well done.
Not too shabby, very healthy for them. Let's see if Ace is able to meet his man. They're walking in here. Safety option at 2 is success. We'll put it in that way. Yeah, he was off just a bit too early. We can see what the Noordheuwel are trying to do. Obviously, a big rush defense here. Just need to ensure that they're not encroaching early on.
Yeah, and it's a tricky one, because once the ball is taken in front and you do a throw jump, the ref has to really get it right, because it gives an opportunity to the flankers at the back to shoot and put a scrum up under pressure. That's exactly what happened there. And then obviously Mr. Rev Maretz actually deemed to be offside because he felt like it was too soon, maybe too eager to get the scrum up under pressure.
That's a good jump there by Carl Steenkamper for Noordheuwel against the throw. Crashing ball over the 22-go Noordheuwel. Needs to be careful, not from the side there. And once again, reprieve here for Noordheuwel. Both these teams a little bit just overzealous and a little bit over eager, which is leading to the penalties. They're good intent, but we just need to handbrake.
Yeah, and I think the first arrival came from the side. deemed to be offside. The second one actually was on the ball. Because of that now.
Ball again, not out here. Opportunity for Monas. Here comes the lanky fullback. He gets eventually wrapped up amongst them. Zane Comerford. To the left they go. 3 of them there. Good ball presentation. Comes back on the inside towards the support. That's good stuff there from a forward, isn't it?
Beautiful stuff. Lovely to watch.
Digging for that ball. It comes out now. A little bit of space on this side here. Tester, there's your man TK. Ooh.
Oh. He called it a perfect counter-attack execution. Although I thought the first arrival, the fullback would have actually kicked it himself in Kelvin Paulson and decided, listen, I've got feet, let me bring these 2 defenders together and send my winger away. And obviously obliged. But unfortunately, the space was not there. Now, you might be wearing a number 14, but I just swapped jerseys with a number 11 because of the size of the jersey. But he's a left winger by nature. And obviously, they're using his boot in a good effect. A Vurvur turned very positive there because they've got a scrum on the 10-meter line, attacking ball. Do you reckon they should attack from there? I mean, at this level.
Oh, Messi will reset that one.
It's a bit messy because I think the teams that were really competing is the tighter than the looser, but the rest of them are trying to run around. If the ref actually is going to pick something up, but that didn't happen so fast.
Yeah.
It's obvious to see because once that happens, the speed is not supposed to happen at that speed.
But both packs just need to settle down and wait for the ball to come in first. I think they're a bit early on the engage there.
You must remember, though, the one who's going to benefit the most from a ball coming quick in and they can put pressure is the defending team. The attacking team want to have control.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a rush attacking situations where obviously your plans could fall flat.
Yeah, coming around. You did mention it, Lawrence, you did mention it earlier, that they need to be careful of that. They did well to take the hit, though, did Noordheuwel.
Yeah, and I think this time was less obvious, but I think in mindset, the ref has already picked up what they're trying to do, and they repeated the same thing. It was an easy call to make, and then Noordheuwel getting out of jail card there, having a penalty, but obviously just a few meters, but they're still in charge. They still got a ball, they're still attacking, and the line-out option, they're going for a short man, which is a 5-man, and I suppose looking at how they're defending Monas, look at that. Yeah, the first one is too obvious, but this one is also clear. They tightened Ricardo Duplessis. He really needs to try to go forward first before coming to the hooker or walk around for that matter. Oof, what a take.
Right, he must play water polo in the summer, that one. A ball does eventually come out of the side of Monas here. Spots a little bit of a half gap, but he does. Gets over the halfway line on behalf of the home side. Still to the left they go. That rush defense once more. Tester here for Monas. Grabs onto a jersey, but unsuccessful there. Kelvin Paulson. Show and go. Sit down, he says to the number 7, Eaton Nell. Penalty again here. Offside. That rush defense is not working for them. They're not reading that last man's feet. We need a bit more communication from that pillar. So once the ruck is formed, that pillar is meant to be the person that's stabilizing that offside line.
And also the one who takes up the line initially. So he can't be controlled from outside because you 10-1, you're not close to the action. So you won't be able to see when the ball is up or the ball is out. So you 10-1, you'll get it wrong most of the time because you're not view of where the ball is.
They don't like kicking the ball out, both these teams. As we see once again, the ball stays in field. It's charged down, but gathered again by Noordheuwel. Bodies everywhere in that ruck there. They need to be careful to roll out of there. Yep, penalty was going to come. He just pretty much just sat there.
I think the captain was trying to get an extra 10 just to get an angle a bit better so they can kick a bit further. Unfortunately, the ref was like, I'm not on the mark. Unfortunately, you have to retake. But they've got a penalty. I don't know why they're stressing. And why would you want to take a quick tap there?
Yeah, but also, luckily the referee said it wasn't by the mark because he was going to knock that ball on.
He was going to run. He was not going to kick.
But he kicked it away from himself, did the captain Arne Roux. So I don't think he'll be doing that again in a rush. Play comes to the 10-meter line. And a more regular role for Roo this time in terms of throwing the ball into the line out. Referee not happy with something spacing. Bit of an issue here.
Yeah, and I think Roo should actually tell his charges, listen, take your time, go to the back and just go up there. Let me get a strong ball, because you can't throw a loop ball because the wind actually drags it a bit. Much better.
Good take there by Keegan Grobler. This is a good run here by Ethan Nell. That ball is slow in coming out. Eventually does come out. Show and go from Johannes Skuman.
Falling over.
This is now getting cynical, to be perfectly honest. They're not even attempting. They're just throwing themselves there for a bit of a timeout.
No, and the problem is they're trying to actually immerse themselves with the ball. When you come to clean, you take everything away. But unfortunately, the elbows are going on the ground, making it so evident for the ref to see, because they don't play heads-up rugby. So they go with the head down. You don't see what the traffic is coming. But if you look up a little bit, you'll actually pick up when someone is coming. That's the only time you can actually go that low. They could have just taken that ball, and two of them doing the same thing.
Yep.
So over the communication as well, no one is deciding, listen, you go for the ball, I'll protect you. And they're both going for the same thing, end up giving a penalty simultaneously, because they're exactly doing the same thing. Unless it's in a playbook, when you actually go contesting, that's how low you go and actually go for the ball.
Opportunity here for Zanre Fourie. Right out in front here. Just outside the 22. Opportunity here for him to go with 3-0 up for his side. Strikes it well, and it's a 3-0 to the visitors. Much needed in an error-strewn game thus far. Both teams are struggling just to get a bit of momentum. Positive start, plenty of potential. But geez, there have been some big hits thus far.
Yeah, no, certainly. I suppose it's the early days, everyone is fresh. So those opportunities and gaps are not actually so evident. But I will probably see in the second half when the people start to tire, and those gaps are going to start getting bigger and bigger.
Very deep, that restart. Very, very deep.
Oh, what a return.
It's a left-handed banana there.
What a return.
Under that pressure, that is absolutely fantastic there by the scrum half who was in the deep there. Excellent stuff there from Michael Fouchier.
Very strange from Monument to kick that deep and not have people to connect.
To chase, yeah.
Because, I mean, only two guys were left behind, the fullback and the kicker. And then the rest of them were up. And if you're going to kick that deep, someone must come in and help. Because that opportunity could have been taken from them to actually go quicker. Early jump, free kick.
Ace meets his jump up. It then comes down to Fouchier. Fouchier hands it off then to Dinas Duploy. Digging for it is Barnard. Eventually he does get it. Took well the hit there to get that ball out of there. The forwards lining up here. Well met thus far by Noordheuwel. Now given a bit of air, there's a bit of space here. It's a good tackle. He needed to make that tackle. Here we are. That ball going behind. Someone needs to clean up. Yeah. Isolated there. Isolated, and good work. A combination of Martin Nell as well as Henri Roux to take full advantage of that one.
Now, obviously, the opposite difference of what we've seen earlier, of having an opportunity to go for the ball with no cleaners. You keep your head up and actually stay strong on your position. Just hold on to the ball. It's going to come eventually. As long as you get hold of the ball.
How is that for a kick? That is brilliant stuff. On that tight angle.
Massive, massive. Great opportunity. I see they're actually trying to do... it's still a short line out, I think, with one or two players out. Now, they're not keen on the drive yet.
Not keen on a drive. It's saving themselves a long day.
Yeah, but the thing is that they still got that same issue now. They've got a pot in front covering. The middle pot doesn't really have competition. All they have to do is take a ball in the middle, and they should get an easy run.
Yeah, well, there's the short man maul.
They didn't just fool us, they fooled them as well.
Wonkumdu, fooled Wonkumdu. That comes to a sudden end. That more ball is still available. Now the forwards here. That's a good hit. Sends Noordheuwel lateral. That's a tackle now he must release.
Oh, no, that's a Palato.
Offside, that call again. We're hearing shouts of Palatu, scrum.
No, I think the coach wants definitely 3 points here. But the captain is actually who wants us something else.
Did you hear the coach? Okay, fine.
No, remember the captain is in charge when it's on the field. Coach must just take one on the chin. Unfortunately, the captain is seeing something else out there. And he's in the mood and is in a good mood. Hopefully it doesn't mess his scrum up because the coach wouldn't be impressed with him. It's an opportunity for easy 3 points he could have had. But if they get 7, kudos to him. Made a great choice.
Oof. That ball coming out of the mouth again, so they must come out. So we're breathing deeply is head coach Mr. Badenhorst, technology and life orientation teacher at World School Noordheuwel. 22 points to 7 against Montana last week. This team won from Noordheuwel. The head coach, Mr. Van Blerk from Monas, head of discipline here. Used to play for Old Transvaal, center. Now, let's see. Number 10, straight through the middle there. That's center, well met. But the legs that carried him through there. This is good stuff here. Yeah. Yay.
Beautiful line, beautiful take. Unfortunately, that line created an isolation, which the only person who's guilty there is a pass. Is a flyer who passed the ball, should have followed up, and the outside center who should have actually supported him in case the hands got free. But you're standing so far, you can't actually even get
they're much too wide.
Scraps that could just send you go score the try. Because it was a beautiful line, you can't actually blame him. The supporting players who were supposed to protect him didn't do their job, actually leaving him exposed to the defenders, and obviously Mona's making sure good. Now this is not going to happen today on my watch. I mean, he was isolated. There were no cleaners. It's unfortunate, but it was well orchestrated move. Beautiful move that they actually crafted up there. Unfortunately, now they're putting the captain in a bit of a shambles there because he contradicted his coach, thinking that his team was going to actually give him the 7, which was not the case. And then Monas have an opportunity now to get a lineup because the line is a bit dodgy, if anything to go by. They were not very clean.
Not very clean. Let's see what they do now. It's a crash ball at 12 for Jody Chambriel. Comes again, bit of a balancing act here. Does nicely at Tien's deploy. Got to clean up here. Crash ball well tackled. There was Johan Reis Skuman. Front of the kicker there he was. Big chaser on the go here. And well left there. Almost had his...
Actually, not a bad idea. Unfortunately, just too much on that technical kick. Obviously, there was space there.
Yeah.
But too much on it, and that actually ended up to the dead ball line. So it means they're going to come back for a scrum where he kicked, which is, I suppose, is a big win for Monas there.
Going to need a big scrum here. Monas, opportunity for a tight head as well for Noordheuwel if they are able to.
Yeah, no, listen, I think Monas has gone in confidence in the meantime while Noordheuwel was actually messing around about, because the scrum was not as strong as it was in the first 10-15 minutes. So it means things are turning.
Messi once again.
Yeah, maybe the Maretz Olivier needs to have a chat with Mona's tight head, who's immediately going into that angle.
Yeah.
Which is actually, it's evident. I mean, even the loose head can't get a proper bind because he's already either hiding under the hooker to go there. He needs to actually get him to straighten. I suppose being a big loose head as well, everyone is trying to run away from him because no one wants to take his square.
No one wants to take the hit on square.
You see that angle is a bit narrow, but he needs to make sure he gets the bind proper.
Shouting it's out, but I didn't take it. Here we are. It's on now. 2v1. Gets it out to the winger there. That ball was a little bit late. Almost goose-stepped himself there, that wing on the far side. Still in possession with Monument, though. Vantage. Over the ball there. Yeah, referee will come back to that initial infringement. Just before the halfway. Tap and go is the option here. Now, opens up here for Hoërskool Monument. Tackle, thumping tackle. Advantage being played by the referee. May well have gone over the 90. Over the ball immediately there. It's a good steal by Joandre Skuman. Fortunately, advantage was being played for the tackle. Dangerous.
Going across horizontal, which is illegal. And
referee's going to have a chat here.
Hopefully just a chat, because I think
You'd
it's
hope
the first
so.
warning.
Yeah, you'd hope so,
Which
because
is
may well be tickets here.
Nah, the way he's going,
Just a
I think
stern
it just
talking
was
to.
stern talk.
Yeah.
So listen, we want to keep it 15. Yeah, no.
Grobler.
Yeah, for big man, he's too strong as well. So he is just flexing too much muscle and just doing more than he's supposed to do. Which luckily nothing bad happened from that tackle as well, because that normally leads to other things when someone gets injured.
Right, now this is a good platform for Monas. First job done, 2 ball. Now here comes the rolling maul from Monas. It goes down, but I think it went down by themselves there. Yeah, that ball will come out for Noordheuwel.
Noordheuwel will feel like actually justice, because they felt that Lannard was slightly a bit to the left shoulder, which seemed to be a bit skew according to them. They're right in line with the ball. But obviously, Maretz didn't see that way. But I could also have a feeling that one was slightly on the other side, because, I mean, Monas has got only one option.
Yeah.
At one point, if they don't change that option, Noordheuwel is actually going to start putting a pot and wait for the hooker to throw, which they actually should be doing, because, I mean, the hooker doesn't seem to have the range to go anything beyond the front ball. Whoa.
Test under pressure, they gave it a healthy thump. Fortunately, most of that ball spent its time outside the field of play. So, Monas with a take 2.
Yeah, now with a take 2 front ball option. So if I can call it, I hope they're listening as well, because just get up a pot. Don't watch what they're doing, because they're trying to distract by doing a few movements. Just stand there and actually jump. Look at that scrum. You see the scrums are starting to even up nice and slowly. So the battle now comes down to the Lannards. How much of an X factor can one team have in come on and keeping your ball, or try to get the other ball?
Yeah, so just going to have a chat here, Mr. Maurits Olivier, to both captains. We've seen from both sides just a little bit of off the ball things, a little bit of chirps happening now and then. Obviously just doesn't want to get it to get out of hand. Keep the game going. It's been a flurry of massive hits this morning, folks. It started off with the under 14As, 23-22 in favor of Noordheuwel. The thirds, 25-7 in favor of the home side. And then a cracker with the under 15As, 8-6. Monas taking that at right at the end here. We are at the second team game here. The curtain raiser for the first team. There's a bit of a break in play here as somebody needs to receive some attention. He's got a bit of blood on the nose there as the hooter sounds in the background.
Yeah, the lock, John Reskuman needing some attention. I think a bit of a bloody nose or a bit of blood that's uncontrollably needs to be maintained, and actually will get back onto the field as soon as possible. So I think they were listening, because they've set up a pot there, but then the trick there is to stay and wait for the hooker. Once it throws, then you go up. Beautifully done.
That's what you're talking about.
They were listening.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, because it seems like Monas doesn't have options when it comes to lineouts, and they really need to come with a plan. And because that one is actually, even Noordheuwel has come up with a plan. It means you need to find another plan to make sure that you actually get your ball going. Because if you're not going to get your attacking, most crucial ball from attacking lineouts, I mean, the team is going to be under pressure, because scrum is a 50-50 currently. But the one thing that's almost something certain is your lineouts. You got to make sure you secure those. The kickoffs are fine. They're handling those. And open play, they're handling those. Obviously, there's a bit of a contest when it comes to the ground. but Monument a bit eager at times. But I think, I mean, I've looked as well, even they are racking their own ball. It's slow because I think the presentation from his teammates is not giving the scrum half quality ball. He's digging for everything. So that 2 seconds that he goes in there gives defense an opportunity to get closer to them when they got a ball in hand.
Folks, it's 3-0 at halftime here. It's been penalty strewn first half for referee Olivier. It's been a mismatch of throws and mismatch of kicks as well. Hopefully the coaches will have a chat and fix things up, and the second half rather will come out firing. For now, we'll take a bit of a short break, and we'll see you shortly after this. Not much to speak of, folks, in terms of the first half. 3-0 the score at this point in time. A single penalty from fly half Zanre for, I beg your pardon, Tiens Duplessis is the difference between the two sides. Really error-strewn first half it was there, particularly at set-piece time, failing to meet jumpers, and at scrum time it's been a bit of a battle for referee Maurits Olivier. Hopefully the second half, after the tough team talks from both management staff, will be able to result in some go-forward rugby in the second half. Certainly plenty of potential, just struggling to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, now it's a question of now they need to find a try line. They're finding each other in the middle between the 22s, but unfortunately the try line is still a scarcity. They don't know what it looks like, or it feels like, or it smells like. It's something they need to rectify, but obviously the competition is intense. They're matching each other quite nicely, so I mean the mere fact that the score is 3-0, or maybe the opportunity taking is a bit of a skew, so they need to sort that out. And hopefully the ref is going to also have a look at the scrum as well, because we feel like the tight head was slightly, or Monas was coming in too early, forcing that and angling. Is either the opposition loose head has got nothing to scrum against, or it looked like he's scrumming early.
Almost ready to kick off here the second half. Let's go, says Mr. Olivier. Well, they're cleaned up there by Carl Steenkamp, but he gets driven back inside his 22. He puts himself into second gear, loses the ball in the process. Someone's also T-shirt as well there. Good tackle there by Zane Comerford. It's a big fend, but took him down with a jersey. Now it's come out for Noordheuwel, ripped in the tackle successfully. Yeah. That player's down in the far side there, but good work by the props, ripping that ball out.
It's an arm wrestle of some epic proportions here, because these guys are really into each other. They're not giving each other an inch. If it's not a big hit, it's someone trying to wrestle that ball off. And obviously that came from a wrestling of the ball off as well. So he left the ball behind and fell awkwardly. That's why he's not feeling comfortable. But the penalty going the way of Noordheuwel, having an opportunity to get close or get over the halfway line. So I'm sure the coaches are scratching their heads among these boys. But I suppose you got to earn the right to go wide. You can't just go wide. I mean, you got to find a way, turn them back, force the forward to go back and everyone to go back, and then give your backs ball on a platter. Maybe that's what they're trying to cook up the whole time.
May well see a change here. Stretcher being called onto the park. Jersey number 18 is onto the park. We'll get confirmation for you in a second who that is.
Aiden De Beer.
De Beer, he'll take on there. We saw that tackle happening.
What, he might have gotten an elbow? But it seems serious than that though, because I mean it was a strike of a jersey. Maybe it just fell awkwardly, or the elbow landed on something.
Perhaps he landed
more
awkwardly
sensitive.
there.
Because it didn't seem that malicious, and then obviously he's
no, I don't think, certainly no malice in it. I think if anything, accidental. But safety first, as we've become accustomed to. Let's have another look here. He gets one in the gezicht.
Still doesn't make sense how he got injured, unless it's his shoulder. Remember, his shoulder might have taken most of the weight.
Most of the weight, that right shoulder.
And when the elbow misses and the shoulder lets awkwardly, it could be like a collarbone dislocation.
He's awkward with that right shoulder. You can see it here just beneath us in the commentary box. Not feeling very comfortable. That ball was missed. Opportunity here for Noordheuwel. Does come out here for them. Again, that line just a bit too heavy.
It's serious.
Play continues here. Hits the captain on the shoulder. A little bit of basketball, but unsuccessful. We've seen quite a few injuries this morning, Lawrence, and we're speaking about it. It's been a topsy-turvy rugby season, speaking to the coaches. So your conditioning staff can condition as much as possible, but particularly with a physical game like rugby, and the lack of play for a lot of these schools, you're bound to see a couple of injuries, aren't you?
No, certainly, because it's not a normal season, and a normal season that you would have where you get prepared in a certain way for a few weeks. And then when you get into your physical things, and then now your body is actually in a position that it can handle some of this stuff. And you can see now that the players, some of them are undercooked, and then obviously the body is not ready for that and pounding contact, which sometimes
did well
tend to happen.
To take the hit there, did Zandre Fourie. Ball still available for Monas. Change of direction now, gives it a healthy punt. Work to do here for Devon Trewagen. Advantage for the 18th time here being played. Side entry, the call from Mr. Olivier. Break in play again here. Decision time. It's been a minute since they've been downtown, have Noordheuwel. So hopefully we'll give that a healthy thumper to see how they can take a full advantage as soon as they get into territory. What's wrong with play lands up on the 22-meter line.
Adnoru And obviously a short line out, and I can assume here now they're trying to cover two places, which sometimes does leave them vulnerable somewhere. Good take.
Good ball here. Here comes the tight head. Slowed his run down a little bit as soon as he got that ball. Would have been dangerous to see him at full tilt. Big hit onto Jean-Ray Skuman. Who wants it?
Opportunity to even the scores here.
Yep.
I mean, he might have taken it at very slow pace, but certainly that's how a tractor operates. You pull everything on your way, which he got some few meters of that. Unfortunately, it was not continued around the corner. It slowed down and obviously ended up in a penalty for them, which have got an opportunity to level up the score. Obviously not releasing the ball on the ground there after actually fell on it, or not recalling for that matter, because sometimes it does help. You fall on it, you just buy that extra second and trying to find your own feet with the ball. That gives you opportunity of your own teammates to do a better cleaning. The replacement for the injured, is it a number 4? John Skuman, who, through some information, it seemed like he might have picked up a slight concussion in that collision that took place here, which actually has been managed, been looked at, been monitored by the experts on the ground, so which hopefully comes out of that and is taken care of.
Yeah, certainly. So medical staff on hand here. They'll just creep over the 10-meter line. No, Ms. Olivier not hearing anything from the coaching staff of Noordheuwel, despite his contestation. Gives it a bit of air. Clever little kick, that one. They need to come up in a line now to Noordheuwel. Needs to be careful not to be isolated. No. Not good, that one. Minded me of Rey Mysterio, that one, coming around there, and I think it'll be tickets here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's lucky also the player didn't get injured, but you can't blame him because he didn't really lift him. He just pushed him forward. He just awkward falling as well because he twisted him around 360, but the landing situation was a bit nasty. That looked like he... Luckily, I mean, it was...
So Khobla will take 5 minutes or so off the park. That ball is not out. They'll kick it right back to the opposition. Now, let's see here. Focused a bit too much on handing off the player, not holding on to the ball, and that will result in a knock on there.
Yeah, no, Mona's left winger there, Dylan van den Berg, underestimating the opposition number 9. He might be a lean-looking number 9, but he does pack a bit of firepower because he actually managed to subdue the whole situation.
Yeah,
that doesn't look good. Luckily, no one fell on top of him, so luckily that was all a saving grace, because someone fell on top of him as well. Could have been something else, because his own body weight, I think, was not significant enough to cause more damage while he's still on the field, and he's lucky to get away with that one. We're also happy nothing seriously happened, because it's the last thing you want to see is this.
So now we see here, takes the player down with him, ball security, tried to give him a VCO bar, but fortunately...
Unfortunately, he focused so much on the visual bar and left the ball behind.
Yeah. Now, front foot ball here. Let's see what Noordheuwel can conjure up here. Bit of a grabber going their way here. Football skills employed here. Gets it beyond the 22, but everybody's offside there. The entire team was offside there.
Mr. Mares didn't pick that up.
Didn't pick that up, yeah. Now, we're still keen to go here. Krijwagen.
Yeah, he might have picked it up because he's giving it now.
Yeah. Let's see if we can go Parler 2 here.
Oh, how well did he do there? Because he was like 2v1.
Yep.
He doesn't control that ball. It's definitely a try on the other side. What an innovative play there from Dinas Deploy, because he actually chip and chase. But that chip and chase was strange because it was so far as well. I thought he was kicking for himself.
Yeah.
The whole defense would have been isolated. Then it becomes a 2-on-1 because his fellow center knew, because that's why we're there together.
He was there in support of him all the time then.
Yeah, and obviously you can't control everything. I mean, you can just, tap this thing, sometimes you think you're tapping it, can't be kicking it. So in this situation, he's at least getting rewarded for his efforts. At 3 points.
Lovely to see here, just in front of us in the commentary tower here, Jean-Reyes Skuman. He's awoken from his deep sleep. He was the player concussed on the field, number 4 there for Noordheuwel. So he's looking okay. He's up and about. Gingerly, might I add.
Very gingerly.
Very gingerly. That's a good kick again there by Zandre Fourie. That's a 3 penalties to nil. There's a monument here. It is the Premier Inter-Schools, brought to you by Super Quick in association with Outsurance. See that one again there. That grubber looked a little bit too far at one stage. Football skills employed there. Sliding tackle coming in. Back to the action now. Gives a little bit of air here. Calvin Poulsen, 2v1 here. Oh. Did well to stay in field.
And Duplo is doing everything now, defending everywhere.
No immediate pressure here. Now, let's see.
Ooh! Teaser. I think that Vurvur pass actually got the interceptor in all sorts of 6s and 7s, because he saw that ball coming, but it was so fast and actually spun in such a weird direction. Whoops! He read it, but the ball did his own thing. I mean, that obviously a forward pass, because if it went correctly, it would have been in his hands.
It would have.
So the saving grace is that the ball went forward eventually from the spinning pass there.
Another saving grace was the fact that Noordheuwel were looking to make the hit rather than looking up at the ball for an intercept.
No, he went for the ball, but the ball actually lifted as soon as it got
lifted
to him.
and went back.
And went the other direction that he's coming from.
Jersey number 7 is off for Noordheuwel, together with the tight head there, number 3, Camerford. Let's see now, Vice Captain Poulsen. He puts it on the toe. He's tackled there late. So we'll come back, but that's a good regather there by the center. And Chadwin Storm, he will dot down here for Noordheuwel. It's amazing. You see Poulsen, he was tackled late. He was on the floor. He did a Ronaldo there. And as soon as he saw his teammates score, he was the first one to run there.
Miraculously recovered from the lady.
It's amazing what 5 points does for your team.
That was well done. He actually had an opportunity at 2-on-1, but he saw there was more opportunity behind them, and he did a great thing in actually kicking the ball. And obviously, I think that the winner there was a bounce of the ball. Look at that. Boom. Oh, there was a bit strike as well. It was a bit cynical. But obviously the rugby ball actually favored them, the supporting runners, and number 12 there, actually making sure it doesn't make a Children Storm. Taking full credit, and the coach obviously can't hide his emotions. It felt like it was coming. It was a matter of time when it was coming. That's well done to the team.
He's loving it there, Mr. Barnos, the head coach, and he's ably assisted by Mr. Laidlaw, as well as Otto Joubert from Noordheuwel. And really now in a good position here, Noordheuwel. Very quiet from Monument.
Yeah, no, very quiet. It's very difficult when you actually, I mean, remember that whole thing we were talking about, north-south, playing uphill and playing downhill. They were playing with the wind first half.
Yeah.
And they didn't get anything. Now they're going against the wind. It seems like Monas can't actually now manage this situation of the wind. Because as soon as the thing was swerving, it blows north and then it blows south. Because you can't control the kicks. And then the kicks that you think the tapping seems like it's turned, it's blowing downwards now against Monas. And Monas actually not handling it well. And you can see the shoulders are also dropping. I don't know if they realize, which is actually things are not going as planned here.
Yep. Very deep again there into the throat of the halfback. He gives it a healthy thump to the halfway.
No.
Careful not to get isolated here. This is good work. But that ball manages to be passed on to a teammate. Sigh of relief for Monument momentarily. Under all sorts of pressure, Monument.
And also lucky the scrum have not been pinned there for offside, accidental offside, because he came in from the forward position and kicked the ball that was knocked on. And Mr. Maraz probably being,
let the kids play.
Let the kids play. It can't be too harsh on them. And obviously, I suppose a few changes as well. I think some reinforcement to see if they can actually up the ante. A lock and a prop about
number 4 is coming off here. Ulrich van der Merwe. He's coming off.
I think it's one. What is Hartman? Hartman that is actually pressing the tight head as well, Ricardo Duplessis. Let's see if he makes a difference when he comes on. Oh, no.
Big scrum. Again, they're opting for that space
It's
around
open.
the back. It's going to be a foot chase here now. Who's cleaning up? That's good work there. Taken down by number 10 there's Andre Fourie. He has his opposite number now. A little bit of space in front of him here. Slows it down. He's got a player on his outside. Doesn't need him. Shows off to the one here. Now he's got someone on the outside. Puts it a toe ahead of him there. Who's going to get to that ball there? It's going to be the Monas player there. Has he got assistance? No, he doesn't. It's all by himself there.
No.
Oh, no, man.
Why
that is
fall
poor.
over the ball?
That is so poor. Tap and go quickly here by Monas. Are they able to get Sammy over the line?
Try
They
time.
go. It's going to be try time for Monas. May well be late in this game, but it's a try nonetheless.
I think it's Dylan. Is it Dylan de Klerk that actually broke there with a step and dive?
Medics being called on to that far side there.
He actually did. Is it Dylan that I'm actually looking at that actually broke there with a swerve and turn and actually got them going? And actually, you can underestimate him. He's got some moves on him. Look, he did a lot of work there because he was covered. Got out of that 1, 2, 3. And then by that time, it's like, listen, I'm making a right decision as well. Nice chip and chase.
Excellent.
Perfect. Obviously couldn't finish the job. But then there comes the reserve number 9.
It is.
Oh, you can see the number 9.
Suicide squad, huh?
Yeah. Because he did all the work to get there. Not to actually employ now the correct technique. He didn't have to fall over, walk over, take the ball.
Take the ball because the ruck's not formed. Yes.
You got 3 players around you can actually pass to, get momentum goes in. They were isolated because it's just the 2 of them. And unfortunately unable to do that. That actually gave an opportunity now to the outside center to just finish the job he started, which was well done to him because he really did work hard before that. And everything that he done was done perfectly.
First attempted goal here for Monas is wayward. Bodies are plenty on the floor here for Noordheuwel. Amongst them is Michael Fouchier, the one that made the tackle on that far side there. He's stayed down, the proper stay down as well onto the try line. Gingerly getting up there is Michael Fouchier. Made that tackle there. It's a good run there by Monas. They took the penalty quickly and did very well to plant that ball down for the 5-pointer here to break that duck.
No, he did absolutely well there. I think they should actually give him a lot of more credit because even taking a tap, that position they did it is very strange. But if you think about it correctly, the defenders are not all there. So there's a lot of open space on the outside, which they actually covered as well.
It's a high restart here.
From hero to villain in a second.
Quick fast. Chenjamakia.
Chenjamakia. Man. I mean, as a center, that should have been an easy take for him. Maybe he's still fatigued. I mean, that was a lot of work for him to do there.
Plenty of work, Dylan de Klerk, as you correctly mentioned a little bit earlier. And he's very deceptive because he's quite lanky, so you don't think he's got a clean pair of heels.
And he can step. And obviously he's smart enough to know that he doesn't have to run into people, he runs into spaces. I mean, that rugby is supposed to be played. Let them tackle you instead of running into them.
Another clean scrum here by Noordheuwel. Wraps around here. They've got numbers on this side here. Wrapped around, looks a little bit high. Football skills are employed here. Guy again. Now let's see here. It's a Poulsen versus his opposite number. And he knocks it on there.
That one was a bit too low for him to actually pull up.
He's a lanky man. Is that fullback?
It's very strange that Dylan van der Berg didn't actually pass that ball in time. Because if he did pass it in time, would have been a great opportunity for the 2 extra backs to go around. He held it too long and actually that almost turned into something else. Yeah, I think there's a lot of tired bodies out there. And remember, the sun is also out now. So the
feeling
heat,
a little
the
bit.
Dehydration, and obviously a bit of fatigue can play a major role.
I tell you what, the medics are really earning their salary today here.
And the longer the game goes, the more busy they get.
The more busy they get. We see that attempted foot chase here on the replay screen.
I'm surprised he didn't use his foot this time, eh?
Could have used it again here. Clearly not a fan of Bafana Bafana this one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's back speaking again. Is a Carl Steenkamp from Noordheuwel after a bit of a ding-dong. He's awake. Yeah,
I
you
know.
can definitely see he's good.
Happy spirits.
He's good. He's definitely not getting back on the park, but
Yeah,
he's
and
good.
I saw the
He's
parent
good.
was also worried a bit. He was close by,
Yeah.
watching things at a close angle. I mean, that's what the parents are supposed to do, support their kids in their endeavor. Not get too involved, but just watch how things goes. I'm sure it must be relieved as well.
Yeah.
To see his kid is up and running, which is good. We're all happy.
So a couple of bodies, couple of soldiers making their way off the park very late in this one. Remember, folks, first team game coming up next year shortly. In the meantime, Noordheuwel looking to finish this one off. Monas, still a bit of fire in the tank. They've really come alive very late in this game, must be said, Lawrence.
Yeah, no, certainly. But I think the scrum, when it comes to the Noordheuwel, they've been totally in charge when it comes to that department. But they're finding a lot of space behind the backs of Monas. I don't know why they're so flat. I mean, they're only leaving one guy behind, and there's a lot of ground for the fullback to cover. I mean, if both the fullback is up, and then the wing must cover. And if it's the other way around, someone is just not getting it right. I mean, those wings on strings, they're really not getting it right. Because if you have to leave people behind, leave the furthest wing and the fullback in the open side, and then bring the other one closer if they tend to run. In this situation, it teams bring up both wingers and leave the fullback on his own. That the Noordheuwel is finding a lot of ground behind.
Let's see what Ace can do here. He knocks it on for his team. Noordheuwel here with a fortuitous ball. Buzzer sounding in the background there. Will be a penalty for a high tackle.
Yeah, they're trying to kill this game.
Well, they killed it off nonetheless. But as a hooter goes, this will be the last play of the day. Can the coach Magda do it? Kill it off?
Malcolm, do it. It's just a formality. Maybe he's testing his range as well, just inside the 10-meter line.
Testing his range.
Could be testing his range because the wind is actually pushing against him.
Against him.
Yeah, so it really has to hit it instead of scooping it.
Making sure he takes his entire minute is free.
Does have range, doesn't have direction.
Yeah, so Noordheuwel will clean this one up here. 16 points to 5. The first team game coming up next year. But as it ends on the second team game on the Ras van Rooyen field, it is Noordheuwel who take it here. From myself, Lucky Little, and my co-commentator Lawrence Parker, it's cheers for now. Stand by for the first team game.
Prepare for that combat. The end is where it begins. Everything in that game that you win back. Wish for the impact.